Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everybody? How you doing? What's cracking? Yeah, welcome to the show. This is the smoking section, brought to you by your host, Big Corpse. Yeah, man, we out here. I'm really excited. This podcast was one of those ones where it's like going back and listening to it. There was so much information dropped and so much insight on a particular thing. Like, I love it when people know a lot of things, and then I also know when there's people who know a lot of things about one thing. That's a brain twist. Yeah. So, today's show, right, is a doozy. So please be ready to sit down and listen. But first and foremost, before we get into that, I want to say I hope everyone's doing okay during the global pandemic. I hope you're safe and healthy, and I hope everyone is, I hope that everyone is still taking their necessary precautions. Second, if you guys can, please go check out corpsecollection.com. That's KORPSX collection.com. Grab a couple things. I'm a listener-supported podcast, and that's the biggest form of support I feel like that you guys can do for me, besides just, clicking a share or retweet, or, even just the like button, leaving a comment, a review, whatever, some stars, whatever. That's all that I need from you guys. Yeah. I don't want to be on a platform where you guys have to pay every single month just to be able to hear this. Yeah. But if you guys do want to support, those are the things that you guys can do. Show a little bit of love. Yeah. But yeah, to this podcast, man, this episode is crazy. Like crazy. I first saw these guys on World of Dance, and then I shared their footage, and then a couple people commented on it and stuff, and then one of my friends tagged this young man on the post, and he's actually the founder of the group. So I was like, yo, crazy. So he is the founder of Indigenous Enterprise, which is a dance team composed of American Indian, Native American dancers doing some of our traditional powwow dances. He is born and raised in Arizona, and is originally from the Navajo Nation. He's traveled with Indigenous Enterprise to London, Australia, and Canada. In some of these places, he was even saying like it was their first time ever seeing a Native American in the flesh. Besides just dancing as well, he is also an Arizona State graduate of 2018 in film. So this young man is a very, very creative and thoughtful, insightful, and very proud young man. Yeah, dude, I can't say much more. Like he's really dope, and it was a really dope conversation. I bring to you guys today Kenneth Shirley of Indigenous Enterprise. Yo, Kenneth, how are you, man?
Good, bro.
Hey, you can hear me loud and clear?
I can hear you perfectly.
For sure, brother. Well, hey, man, listen, dude. First and foremost, I want to say thank you for coming on to the show and like just taking a moment to kind of, tell your story and stuff, and let me pick your brain, man.
Definitely, bro. Are you from LA?
No, I'm from Oxnard. Oxnard, California is where I've lived most of my life.
Oh, okay. This whole time, I don't know why I thought you were in Arizona.
Yeah, and I don't know why I thought Arizona was in a different time zone than us, but yeah, man, you see my brain be everywhere. But but man, dude, thank you for real for coming on, because it's just after I seen your guys' work, I was like, yo, like I think it was my sister who sent it to me first, but then a couple people sent it to me. I was like, yo, look at what I saw on TV, or yo, look who was on WAD, and I was like, yo, that was really, really dope. So yeah, man.
Appreciate that. Appreciate you.
Yeah. So what, like, so for people who don't know, you know what I mean? It's like you're a part of, you're the founder of Indigenous Enterprise, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you guys, like, what was it that got you guys onto World of Dance?
I got invited to go out to London, England, and I'm really good friends with Taboo from the Black Eyed Peas, and
Oh, okay.
he television show, but he has like this little Instagram show he does where it's like called like Rhythm of the Beat or something like that, where he just like highlights different dance groups from all over the world. And when I was in London, he wanted to film one with me, so we met up at his hotel, his bougie ass hotel, staying like some at the Ritz Carlton or some bougie, and then we we filmed like me kind of interviewing me and asking me about like or dancing and stuff like that, and then had me like showcase native style, and we filmed it like at Hyde Park, and then after that it got uploaded. It got viewed by a lot of people, and one of them was like a casting agent for World of Dance. And she messaged me on Instagram and was like, "Hey, I like saw what Taboo put up. We love it. Would you be interested in coming to audition?" And we're like, I talked it over with my team. We're like, "Yeah, let's go do it." So we went out to California in September 2019, and we had to audition, and we like killed it. And Derek from World of Dance was there too. He was there in person and saw us do our thing. They loved it, and then they were like, "All right." And then we got a call back like a week later, like saying, "Yo, you guys are officially going to be on the show." We're like, "All right, lit."
That's crazy, man. Because I mean, I've danced at World of Dances before they were the show. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
even seeing the direction it took with the show, and being able to see you guys up there was crazy. I was like, "Yo, these are my peeps. Like, what the heck? Like, this is tight." But I just wish they would have given. I don't know. I feel like there is just a lack of education on cultural dances that people don't appreciate. The stuff that you guys were putting out, because you guys had a chicken dancer, a fancy dancer, a hoop dancer, and then
grass dancer.
yes, you had a grass dancer. Yeah, because that was the style I used to do. So I was like, yo, that's like some of like the dopest styles like to watch to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, I think those are like all the dopest styles right there.
Yeah, we wanted to come out there. Because I could have easily got together a team of like 4 fancy dancers or 4 hoop dancers or 4 grass dancers, etc. But we were like, man, it would be better if we just like get different styles and put them all together, and we can make a routine that highlights every single one of us. And that way we'll hit World of Dance with like 4 different categories, and we won't be boxed into just being able to do fancy dancer moves or hoop dance moves or grass dance moves or chicken dance moves, blah blah.
And so everybody that was on the show, is that your squad, or do you guys have more people, or how big is it exactly?
Yeah, we have a lot more people. There's probably
Okay.
like a total of like 10 of us, but for the World of Dance though, it was like a real like we were putting in hard work. So we were meeting up and practicing like almost every day, and like we have people from like Canada that help us out too in different regions, but we were like the only ones that were able to kind of like put in work and stuff like that.
Yeah, man, because even like right now, I got some of my dance buddies with me, and so we know that whole thing of like, you might only go out there with 5, 6 of us because we're the only ones been together practicing. Like, you know what I mean? We've been the ones out here doing it, putting in the work, and you're going to be the one to display the product at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it was like cool for everybody that wanted to jump on board, but like it was like one of those things where if you're not gonna like link up and practice and put in the work with us, then you can't be on the show with us.
Yeah, and it's dope too. Even when you were telling me about how, that you've traveled to London, Australia, and Canada with Indigenous Enterprise. So that's really dope to be able to go internationally doing what you guys do, dancing and shit.
Yeah, dude. I kind of I already knew it was gonna be like this because like I've seen it done before, man. There's like a bunch of other people that I would see pictures of them on Facebook, like, oh, look at me, I'm in Italy, or oh, we're in Paris right now, getting ready to showcase some culture. But it was always kind of like I don't know. There's like a tight knit group of friends and stuff like that, and like I would always see them going overseas, but they would never invite me. You know what I mean? Like they would get these opportunities to go overseas to Europe, and they would just like invite like kind of like a you need to know the people to get in with that type of circle to go overseas. So
Mm-hmm.
I would see them going over all the time, and so me and my friends were like, man, they're never probably ever going to invite us to go overseas, so we should just do our own thing. And then we got it up to that point now where we got opportunities and stuff, but like, you know what I mean? We didn't kiss ass, or we didn't like try to like, politic or do anything to like get us in these positions. We just let the dancing speak for itself. And
Yeah, the good old fashioned way.
yeah,
Yeah, I feel you on that, bro. And so, you know, being Native American myself, like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand that what those dances mean. I understand the importance of maintaining our culture. And even though, because you are Navajo, right? And so
yeah,
and this was something that maybe I could kind of see how you feel about it. You know what I mean? But I just feel like when I see those dances, it makes me understand like, yo, okay, that's a certain aspect of our culture. And then each tribe has its own culture. You know what I mean? And like
yeah,
certain places have certain traditions. Like, you know what I mean?
absolutely. Yeah. I think it's like a big portion of kind of keeping our culture close to home. Because I like grew up in the city. So
Mm.
there would be times where I would like, feel like a little, not discouraged, but, sometimes you'd be the only Native American in your whole classroom, and, nobody really knows what the reservation life is like or stuff like that. But every time like I would go to a powwow and I'd be dancing, I'd be around my culture and stuff. It would make me feel like, okay, like I'm happy that we still have this and we're still able to practice these dances, because it's like, keeping it alive is way more important than it going away, because it's like kind of like our history is being erased.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, I think it started like, and that's why I think hold on, how do I want to get this out? I think it's so important that we keep the dances alive, because we already lost, there's so many tribes, as you probably know, but there's so many tribes that have already lost their languages. You know what I mean?
Yes,
They were
yeah,
stopped speaking their language. They were forced, you know, to learn this foreign language. And so if they take the dances away, then it's like, now what? Like, now what do we got left of who we really are? You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah, and a lot of tribes and stuff um, like I introduced this little kid who's part of the Sequan tribe to the powwow circle, and I had some of his elders came up to my mom and were like, thank you so much for kind of getting our grandson into the culture, because they were talking about how a lot of kids are not really into practicing their culture and kind of learning their own indigenous roots, and they're kind of starting to get worried because they're losing that aspect of life.
Mm. Yeah, and it's a way of life too that really, and it's dope, man. Because I know talking with you, I know you understand, especially being out there on the stage and representing the way that y'all did. I know you
Yeah,
understand the importance of it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like as our history goes on, people like you and all the other groups out there who are really pushing the culture, like it's going to be so valuable for the young people. You know what I mean? The kids and stuff.
absolutely, man. I don't know. There's probably like a lot of kids that were watching that whole World of Dance thing, and just for them to just see us included is gonna do a lot for them to be like, yo, like look at these guys, blah blah blah.
Yo,
Yeah, it'll like kind of like uplift them too.
bro, I was probably like 16, and I did a march in North Carolina where I was living. I did this march for the governor, and we were dancing, right? And they saw us on the news, like a little clip. So I know how stoked I was seeing that on TV. So I can only imagine all the young people, 16 and like 15 years old, watching you guys dance. Like I'm telling you, man, when I saw you guys' performance, I was like, yo, this is dope. Like this is Like this is amazing. Like this is really awesome. So with Indigenous Enterprise, bro, like what would you say is like your guys' goal? Like what is y'all's mission?
We just want to be able to bring a positive exposure to Native American culture because, like, oftentimes when I would go to Europe or different parts of Australia, they never even like seen a Native American before. Like, like that was like the first time they'd ever talked to a Native American. That's the first time they've ever seen a Native American in their whole entire life. Like some of these these other ethnicities and stuff. So our goal is just to be able to bring a positive, representation of what a Native American looks like. So when we're on the microphone and we're speaking very, very like eloquently, and we're talking about how we all have like bachelor's degrees and showcasing that our culture, and we're like, young, all under the age of 30, and we're trying to like provide a good representation. It does a lot because, as you probably know, a lot of people have been kind of fed like these weird stigmas of Native Americans through like
Yeah.
Pocahontas or like these John Wayne cowboy movies, and even like Johnny Depp as Tonto, and these like unrealistic, depictions of us. And some people really think that like that's how we are in real life, and it's like the most furthest thing from the truth. So that's what we try to do, is just be able to provide them a different representation, that they'll carry on for the rest of their life, and like always have that positive Indigenous image in their mind.
Man, that's so crazy because places like there's some places in New Zealand, Australia, even Hawaii. Like these people have never been off the island. You know what I mean? They've never been off the mainland. So it's like to see an American for them is that's like, oh my God, you're an American. But then it's like, whoa, you're a Native American. Like, whoa, you're doubling down on me, man. Like, whoa, like you're a super rare find. So yeah, so I feel like they have these stigmas of Native Americans, like, yeah, like we're like this Pocahontas talk to the trees and squirrels type of mindset. It's like, dude, no, that's the farthest thing from the truth. Like, yeah, we have a relationship with nature, and we have a relationship with certain ways of life. Yes, we do. But we're not Disneyed out, bro. Like, stop it. Like, and I feel like it's really important when people like you come around and you show them real, authentic, like this is how a young, successful Native American speaks. This is how he thinks, and this is how we behave. Because I've looked over some of your posts and some of the stuff, like even in the comments, it's like you speak very like there's logic there. It's not just like some mumbling. Like there's some logic behind what you're saying, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think it goes a long way of just like, because I know in today's age, it's just kind of like we often don't get included. And, I think about how, like, for example, African Americans, whenever there's like an issue, like with the George Floyd protests, for example, there's millions and millions and millions of African Americans in this country, and even African people all around the world, that can voice their opinions and make change and be able to get like senators and congressmen to react. However, Native Americans, we're like 0.1% on the earth. Like we're like one of the lowest ethnicities in the United States, and on the earth we're like probably the smallest ethnicity ever. So when we try to voice opinions about missing murdered Indigenous women, or we try to voice opinions about how life in the reservation is hard, there's so little of us, and the numbers are not big, where we literally can't even make a noise. Like we can't even make like an impact because nobody cares, because there's not enough of us. As opposed to like African Americans, when something happens, millions and millions and millions of them like are outraged and will voice their opinions, and it causes people to react. But that doesn't happen with our issues because there's like too little of us.
Yeah, that was one thing that I did see, like back home in North Carolina. They had a Black Lives Matter protest through my city, which is pretty much my tribe is state recognized, right? And so that land has been recognized as their land, and it's just not under the federal protection, like, you know what I mean, like as if they were federally recognized. So it's like an Indian town for sure. It's a Native American town, and so this movement, you know, when you had this protest, there was this weird thing of like, you know, Indian pushback where it was like, hey, like what about our people? You know what I mean? Like what about us? You know, and so it was like, you know, that's where I had to try to kind of diffuse some people and be like, hey man, you got to understand, like they have millions of voices in comparison to ours. Like we, in our battle with America has been much longer fought than theirs has. Like we've been dealing with these people for a long time. Like Western Native Americans were dealing with the Spaniards before they ever saw an Englishman. You know, like even the Florida natives, you know, they saw Spaniards long before they saw the Englishmen. So it's like, you know, it's a weird thing because I think we have the most like missing women. Isn't that what the statistic is? Like most missing Indian women amongst any other ethnic group, even though we're like 0.1% of the population or something. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a crazy
it's
statistic,
fucked
yeah.
up.
And I come from a family of sisters, so it's like fuck. It's kind of raw, man. Like, it kind of sucks.
Definitely, man. So I think like just us like being able to limelight will kind of like kind of make people not forget about us, because that's oftentimes what happens, is that, you know, every other ethnicity will get count, and then they'll forget like, oh, what about the Native Americans?
Yeah, I don't know, and I just don't know what we do to fix it other than to continue to, you know, support groups like yourselves, like, you know what I mean. And my dad did a lot of work amongst Indian country, and so it's like all I can do is try to continue to maintain those relationships and keep natives at the forefront for myself. You know what I mean? Like, of course, I support everybody. I support everybody. You know what I mean? But I need to make sure that I take care of my community too. You know.
Yeah, definitely, man. I know. I think that maybe in the future, some people in legislation and people that are running the country will not be in office anymore, and hopefully that brings some change. But until that happens, I think it's probably
I
just going to
think
be the
maybe
same
we should
result
like take
over and over again.
I think maybe we should take a break from presidents for a little while. You know, let natives do their thing. We just kind of, you know, if you're Native American, we can kind of take care of ourselves for a little while, not worry about. Yeah, the American government is all upside down right now, and they always, especially for natives, they always make us a bunch of promises for federal recognition or, you know, certain grants and rights or whatever, and it never happens. It just doesn't.
Definitely, man. So it's kind of one of those things where you really don't know how to solve the issue, but the important
Yeah.
part is acknowledging there is an issue, and
Yeah,
I'm kind
yeah,
of
that's
glad
the
that the
first
country's
step.
starting to
That's the
wake it
first
up.
step in recovery programs, man. You got to admit that there is a problem, you know? So once everyone admits that there's a problem, like, hey, you know, these people are suffering over here too, you know, then things begin to change. Um, hey, so for
Definitely,
all the
definitely.
guests, I always try to get them to, you know, for the audience, just to drop a little, you know, like a little gem or like your finishing quote for our episode. But before you do that, I do want to say thank you again, Kenneth, for coming on the show, man, and chatting with me for a little bit. I hope we can chat some more again in the future.
Absolutely, yeah. It was definitely. Let me know if you want me to bring some more guests on and to be able to kind of talk and
Yeah, dude, or even like, you know,
be able to
even any
relay
of your
some
homies
messages.
from Zona, you know, the rest of Indigenous Enterprise, whoever, man, we can all link up and plug in and have a chat, bro. Because I mean, like, it's pretty much just a phone call. Like you see how this platform goes. It's just a phone call.
Yeah, it's super chill. I know I've done like some Zoom
Yeah,
podcast
see, and
interviews,
a
and this is
couple of
by
people
far
have
the
been
most like
telling
laid
me to
back
do
one.
Zoom, and I'm just like, fuck. Like, I just don't want my face out there like that. You know, I like to be behind the scenes type of guy. You know, like the podcast is fun. You know, the podcast is cool. I get to drink a
Yeah, I
beer
feel
if I
that. I feel
want
that.
to, and no one ever sees. You know, it's a mystery for everybody. But if you can though, man, for everybody listening to the smoking section, what's Kenneth Shirley's gym for the show?
Oh dang! Probably just take a take a breath. Remember where you're at. Do the best you can.
Damn.
Stay out of
Hey,
the
I did all
results.
that right now too. I took a deep breath. I was like, okay, where am I? All right, cool. Like, yeah, that's a fucking good one, bro. That's a good one, man.
That's all you really can do in life, man. You know what I mean? All you can do is just take a breath, kind of remember where you're at, and do the best you can, and stay out of the results. Because no matter what, man, you did your best. Like it doesn't matter if you win or
That's
lose.
all that matters.
If you really truly did your best, don't matter what. It don't matter if you win or
Damn right,
lose.
man.
You
Damn
went out
right.
swinging
Well, thank you, Kenneth, man. Thank you for coming on the show. I'll shoot you a text right now. All right, brother. Thank you.
for sure.